Hello again and welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to talk about something a little bit different. First things first, this video is geared towards talking about crime and the different ways of justice that we have within our societies. If you are just a narrow-minded person and ignorant, please keep watching because hopefully this will help you understand something. Now, this video is not geared towards criminals. It's not geared for police. It's just I'm just explaining. If anyone wants to watch this and benefit from it, please be my guest. So what is restorative justice? Well, if you go on Wikipedia, you can look up restorative justice. You can also look up something called retributive justice. Now, the name explains it, but in case you guys are still a little unsure, I'll explain just a little bit. So in our societies, we have to have ways of punishing people, and one of those ways that over the years we've chosen is something called retributive justice. So retributive justice is a theory of justice that considers punishment, if proportionate, to be the best response to crime. So basically what it's saying is, person A does something bad, person A must be punished. And it's a compelling argument to say that, hey, you did something bad, so we must punish you. But the thing that people don't realize is when you adopt a solution like this to such a complex problem, you leave out so many variables that you can't actually have a fully functioning working system. And I'll get in and explain that a little bit, and then I want to go into some other things, but I just quickly wanted to touch on this. And the reason that this is because of some of the points that I'll touch on with restorative justice. When like, let's say for example, person A beats up person B, and the course of action is we punish person B. Well, that's great, but what ends up happening in the process of punishing person B, person A is kind of just left alone and they don't really get to heal. So in a way the system is flawed, not only because punishing person B, not only does it mean that there's no guarantee that person B will commit another crime, but you're also not helping in any way person A. Person A gains absolutely nothing from person B going to jail. They don't. That's just, it's a fallacy. It doesn't work that way. If someone steals from me and somebody else steals from the person that stole from me, I don't gain anything. I still lost. So that's a fundamental flaw with retributive justice, is it does nothing for the victim. And some people will argue, well, the guy that beat you up, at least he went to jail, or at least the stuff that they stole from you, somebody else stole from him, and at least now he doesn't have it. See, that's great and all, but that doesn't matter, because I'm still suffering. Whether he broke my leg or he stole like a precious heirloom that I had, I'm still suffering. So even though some people, like deep down inside, they'll feel good that something bad happened to a, quote unquote bad guy, it doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense to feel that way, because you're still suffering at that point. You still you haven't healed, and that's one thing that restorative justice does, and retributive justice does not do. So restorative justice is a little bit different. Is an approach of justice that focuses on the needs of the victims and the offenders, as well as the involved community, instead of satisfying abstract legal principles or punishing the offender. So basically what this is saying is restorative justice is a way of dealing with the situation in a more complete sense. It's not just, there's the bad guy, he did the bad thing, let's do something bad to him. No, there's this person that did this, and this person that suffered this, and this is how it affected the community. Because that's the important thing that people don't get into, is how does this affect the community? Because it's not just two people living in this like happy fantasy world. Like, there might be a guy here and another, let's say it's a girl, but what people fail to realize is they're in a community. It's not just them. There's other people around. There's this guy with the big head, and he's unhappy. Why? Well, because he's paying money to the government, and the government has to sit there with a freaking judge and pay the freaking judge and these prosecutor people that have these little desks, you know, and argue at each other back and forth like, your person did that and my person did this and all that happened and all this and all that and it's your fault and we gotta punish you and this and that. One, this costs money. Two, now you're getting this guy involved and this guy involved and this guy involved, and they all cost money. And you know who pays for it? The community. He pays for it. We pay for it. Everybody else in the community pays for it. So now, person A, who committed the crime, okay, person B, who's the victim, so he has to suffer because he has to go to jail now, or he has to lose some of his possessions. Okay, she has to suffer because she just got beat up and now she has to go to court and testify that he beat her up, and everyone, like, people are asking her, oh, well, how did he beat you up? Did he touch you in any way? Did he, like, was it physical? Did he say anything nasty to you? And she has to relive the whole experience and go through it all over again, as if it wasn't enough that she had to go through it the first time, right? But the worst part isn't that she has to go through it again. The worst part is that she doesn't get anything. She doesn't get, like, she doesn't get compensated. She doesn't get to heal. She doesn't, nothing. So this system is absolutely flawed to the very foundation. Why? Because of all the cost. It costs so much to do it, and everyone suffers. In this system, everyone suffers. In this system, the only people who benefit are the bureaucrats and the politicians and the judges, and the jurors don't even benefit, because they got to go and waste their time out of work. So realistically, the people that are involved don't benefit. The people in the community don't benefit. This only benefits, like, judges and lawyers. And sometimes even they complain because some of these crimes are absolutely absurd. Anyways, enough of that. Okay, next is we're going to talk about some other interesting things. So, I've read a book. Okay, well, okay, before you guys take my word for any of this, I just want to play this short video. There's a police officer that actually talks about what I'm trying to explain to you guys.
I've been with the Longmont Police Department for almost 9 years. When I first heard about restorative justice, I was a little leery of the program. I was a new officer and just out of the academy, ready to hit the ground and go out and, you know, protect people, arrest people, send them all to jail. That was my job. If you violate the law, you go to jail. The first time I did restorative justice, my eyes were kind of open to the process, and it really had an impact on me. It was several juveniles, about 6 to 8, that had broken into an old chemical factory here in Longmont. And as I was, you know, working the night shift like all the new officers do, I came upon an open door and I saw bodies running from me. And they ran off into a field, and as a new officer, I chased, because that's what we do. And at the time I saw these boys in the field. They were hiding in the grass, tall grass, so I couldn't see these bodies. I just knew there were 6 to 8, to me, bad guys out in the field. And the dogs were coming. My gun was out, ready for someone to jump up and try and do something to me. So at that point, someone could have got severely injured, either by me with my gun, by any other use of force, or with the dog biting them. Eventually, I had them all stand up and give up, and I realized, oh my gosh, you know, here I am, I'm out with these, you know, 10 to 13-year-old boys. And I thought, but gosh, they've all committed felonies. They've all committed burglary from what they did inside the building. And I thought, oh my gosh, you know, 10 to 13, I don't want to start these guys, you know, with a felony criminal record. So I thought our Longmont restorative justice program. So I put them through the process, and that's what really, you know, opened my eyes to what the program was like. And at that point, it was scheduled for what we had, or called the circle process.
So he's basically explaining the basics of restorative justice, and I just wanted you guys to get an opinion from someone who actually has to deal with crime on a regular basis, a police officer. So what I want to do now is I want to sort of explain in my own words how restorative justice works. So we have person A, okay, and person A takes, I don't know, a baseball bat, and he's angry, he's mad, okay, and he goes and he beats up person B. And person B wasn't really doing anything, and he's just like, trying to run away. But he comes over and wham, hits him in the head. And person A was upset because he thought person B was having an affair with his girlfriend, who is over here. Okay, but it turns out that he isn't. So now person B has like a big welt on his forehead, and person A is about to go to jail. So we'll put him in a little cage to represent this. Bang! You're gonna get put in a cage, buddy. Okay, so what happens? Well, now person A has to suffer. Person B has to suffer because her boyfriend's in jail, and he's still suffering because he's got this big welt on his forehead that's getting bigger by the minute. So now let's look at what happens with restorative justice. The people in the community get together, big get together. I'll draw a circle to represent the community. That's really bad. I'm going to get rid of that. So now we have person C, who is a member of the community, okay, and we'll call them person C. So we have person A again, who did the beating up with the bat, and we have person B, who has the welt on his forehead. That looks so bad. Okay, anyways, and we have the girlfriend. So what happens in restorative justice? Well, it's really quite simple. Person C will acknowledge the problem that person A has caused on person B. Person C will acknowledge the fact that person B was hurt, which is extremely important because this whole incident is, in a way, affecting person B the most. Why? Well, because he just got beat up for no reason. This sucks for this guy. Person A is also suffering because he's about to go to jail and he made a stupid decision. So what happens? Well, it's quite simple. Person C will talk to person A, and person C will also talk to person B, and person C will also talk to her. And what he says to them, we don't really know. It's just he'll say, you know, what did you do and why did you do it to this gentleman? And then we're sorry that you got hurt to this gentleman. And you know, we'll get her side of the story or let her talk a little bit. Maybe she's upset with him too. Who knows? Anyways, after that happens, wow, that wasn't good. After that happens, person B will be allowed an opportunity to tell person A that really hurt and that he wants an apology. So he'll talk and he'll say, hey, you, hey, and he'll have to look, you know, in this direction. He'll have to look and go, what's up, dude? And he'll be like, that really hurt, like this big thing on my head. It's like look at it, it's like black now and it's like sticking out of the side of my head. That really hurt. And he'll be like, man, I'm real sorry. I thought you were with my girlfriend, and that really made me upset. And then person B will go, yeah, well that really hurt real bad, and you know, thanks for apologizing. At least I sort of feel a little bit better now, maybe. And then, you know, maybe it doesn't hurt as bad. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but he might feel better. Okay, and at least he got an apology, right? So now what happens to person A? Well, person A gets to say, look, guys, he's talking to person B and person C, who's a member of the community as well here, and to his girlfriend, we'll call her G. He says, look, everybody, I'm really sorry. I overreacted and I acted out of character, and I was just really upset that all this was going on, and I thought you were with my girlfriend, and whatever he's gonna say. Or maybe he's really macho and he's got these big macho arms and he's got these big macho muscles, and he's like, yeah, man, you should never hook up with my girlfriend again or I'll mess you up. And then person C will go, hey now, like, and it's a big chat bubble right here, like, hey person A, relax buddy, okay, this isn't a place for you to act macho. Nothing actually went down between these two here, okay, it was a big misunderstanding, or maybe something did go down and they can talk about the problems that they had within their relationship and whether or not they're willing to work on it or want to change anything about it. The details doesn't really matter. What I'm trying to express is that with this mutual cooperation between all the parties involved, we can now start having this person talk to her and help her, this person talk to him and try and understand him and help him, and this person trying to, in a way, relieve the pain of person B. And it's also possible that person A will extend an apology to both of these people here, and it's also possible that she will get a chance to explain herself to him, and that he will get a chance to explain himself to everybody else. And what does this do? Well, it does something extremely important, and I'll tell you what exactly. It allows person A an opportunity to assimilate back into his community without hate and without prejudice. Person B at that point can choose to accept person A's apology. So he might say, yeah, well, that really hurt, but you know what? Your apology sort of sounds sincere, and I forgive you. Just please don't do that again. And person A says, thanks, man. And, when nobody's looking, like out in the corner somewhere, person A and person B, maybe they give each other a hug. I mean, it's not necessary. They don't have to kiss, it's like he can be looking that way and he can be looking that way. But they give each other a hug. And it allows for person A to be let back into this sort of group that they had with person G and person C, who now has a big old grin on his face. Because the involved members were given the opportunity to heal. Person B got to heal because he got an apology, and he's pretty sure that person A is not going to do that to him again, so he doesn't be scared that person B has some aggression toward, or person A has some aggression towards him or anything like that. Person A is allowed to rejoin the community, on some conditions that he doesn't act out like that again, or that he, whatever the conditions are, I don't want to go into it. Person G is also happy because her boyfriend isn't in jail, and person C is happy because this whole thing that just happened was free. Nobody had to pay any politicians to do this. I mean, all the parties involved, they did this willingly, okay? And it put a smile on his face. Look, he's grinning. He's got a big old smile on his face. Big old teeth. And why is he grinning? Because this didn't cost him any money. He can now take this money and go to the store and buy, I don't know, some marshmallows, and they can have a fire here, and they all have these long sticks, and they can roast marshmallows with that money that they saved. And now they're all back into the community together, so it's a one big giant circle around them again, and they can roast marshmallows and have it. And that's what we want. See, this is healthy. The other picture was not healthy. Anyways, that's my opinion of restorative justice, and I hope that gives people an idea. I'm not going to do it in this video, but in another video I'm going to talk about the causes of crimes and what can be done to prevent crimes, and how our legal justice system is just absolutely insane. But thanks for watching, and I hope you guys will watch some of my other videos.